Hey guys, welcome back to the NFM Podcast. We are here in the OptimizeU studio, and our sponsors today are ChillN, OptimizeU, and Navy. I'm here with Collin today. What up?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
You know, crushing it.
Crushing it as always. And we are here with Tycho Bergquist. How are you, Tycho?
Good, Abby. Glad to be here.
Feeling good about this podcast? You ready?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm definitely here. I'm excited.
Good. He's been on, you said 4 podcasts before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had a couple guests lately who are experienced in the podcast world, so no nerves?
I want it to go well, so, sure, but
Yeah,
I feel excited about it.
I feel the same way. I'm nervous every podcast, so.
Really?
Mhm.
What are you nervous about?
I don't know. I think it's wanting to do well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
sign.
wanting you to have a good experience, like the
Thank you.
guest,
appreciate it.
That's probably, we'd have to get deeper into that why it makes me nervous every time.
See, now I'm more comfortable because you want me to be comfortable.
Yes, good. That's the whole
The
point.
full circle.
Collin, how do you feel on the podcast? Do you ever get nervous?
No, we're just talking. It's
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah. Well, that's what we tell ourselves, but you don't actually feel
Exactly.
nervous at all.
I really don't.
Okay, can we switch places? That's crazy. Well, one of the things we do is an icebreaker for people like me. And we talked about this in the last episode. Until we find the perfect name for this icebreaker,
Basket of wonder.
the Basket of Wonders up there in our top 3.
100.
It used to be called the Basket of Debate, and we had questions that you would debate. Now it's not really debatable questions. It's just like intentional or like quality questions.
Not debatable.
You could debate, I guess,
Okay.
anything, but the
Stay
point is
in
not
wonder.
for debating. So anyways, we got quick quality questions. We had the Basket of Wonder. I've been calling it the Basket of Not Debate. The listeners are going to tune in and tell us what they think it should be called. Do you got any ideas, Tycho?
For how to answer these questions?
The name of this icebreaker.
Oh,
The icebreaker.
You can grab
before
one
the
and just
icebreaker.
pass it.
now you put me on the spot, so let me think
You
about
don't
how
have
this
to have
goes.
one. Just in
Yeah.
case, I thought I'd ask. Okay.
Can I tell you in the middle of the podcast if I think of something?
Yes,
All right.
definitely. You can just stop the conversation and let us know. We'll all be waiting on the edge of our seats. All right, I'll start. Let's see. If you could relive one ordinary day, which would it be? Ooh, an ordinary day. So not like a big event in my life.
Wait, say that again.
If you could relive one ordinary day, which day would it be? I'm going to say I lived in Africa for 5 months doing some volunteer teacher work, and every day was pretty ordinary. There's nothing really there. I was in the middle of the jungle in a little village, and I think I would go back to one of those days. I would relive like the stillness and the quiet and just the feeling of being like unplugged completely from the rest of the world, and just remember what that feels like. That's what I would do. What about you, Tycho?
Well, I like how that started out with a not ordinary experience, like being in Africa and teaching, but I'll take that and go for a similar one. So I was in France,
Mhm.
and I had been sitting in a darkness retreat for 10 days. And so I'd relive the last day when I realized I was having my last breakfast in the dark, and then I was about to get out. And it had gone from being a sunny day, the first day before I blew the candle out, to being all snowed in and everything was icy. And I came out at 6 a.m. and it was like this gorgeous, beautiful, amazing Chronicles of Narnia snowfall.
Winter Wonderland.
And, normally that would be nothing. But the fact that I just sat in darkness for 10 days was
my
just
goodness. Yeah, you're right. You took something that's not really ordinary, an ordinary day, and a not ordinary situation. So a darkness retreat,
Yeah.
what is that? We have to talk about that a little bit.
It's kind of part of what I do and what I offer, but not directly. So it's in the Buddhist practitioner world.
Okay.
So I practice Buddhism as part of my clearing, spirit connection, source connection work.
Okay.
And the ultimate Buddhist retreat is 49 days, because that's what they say is the time it takes between incarnations in bodies. So between the time that you die and the time that you're reborn in somebody else's body or that body, 49 days. So darkness for 49 days is like the ultimate. And usually people do 3 to start, but I had been doing work for a long enough time. I was like, I need 10. And the practitioner was like, that's a long time. And I fought for it. And at the end of it, she was like, I'm glad you did. And so was I.
So you're just in darkness for 10 days.
Just in darkness. And I actually
That is
fasted
so
for 3 of them.
challenging. You
Yeah.
fasted from food too?
For 3 days.
For 3 days.
Yeah.
Whoa, that would be very challenging for me.
How do you know
Interesting.
how much time's passing in there?
You don't, except that I happen to have a church nearby and I could hear a bell
bells?
going. But that was a coincidence. It wasn't
Oh.
intentional.
That's awesome.
So I'd be like, it's 4 a.m. My breakfast comes at 6. I have 2 hours.
Was that helpful, or were you glad that you had the bell, or were you like, I kind of wish I had no clue for the full?
For my first time, I'm glad I had it.
Mm-hmm.
The intention is to be totally out in the ether of no grasping. So next time.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Whoa. Yeah, I could spend too much time just thinking about what that would be like. Okay. Wow. Thanks for sharing, Collin.
Oh, way. I'm going to drop the ball on this.
Ordinary.
In order to,
It's gonna be really-
Sundays. Just every Sunday. I love Sundays.
Sundays are
My favorite.
good.
Church,
day.
gym,
Yeah.
family. That's like, I would do that on repeat.
Just Sundays. I agree with that. Reset day. Yeah.
It's slow.
Mm-hmm.
Fun day.
Love that.
No, it's just chill. Just
Normal.
chill. Very chill.
Normal.
Normal Sunday.
Regular day.
Yeah. Ordinary. All right, Collin, what's your say?
If your life had chapters, what would this one be called? Well, for sure, the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I describe it to my wife. Like, we're just in the grind phase of life right now.
Yeah, you are doing a lot right now. Sweat
It's good, though.
seeker.
The business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I like that.
Are you also competing for anything right now?
I'm doing a high
training?
rocks with somebody just because one of my clients wants to do it, but I'm in a build phase, so literally the grinding phase of
Yeah.
bodybuilding. So it'll be a couple years.
Yeah. Cool. What was the question again?
Oh, if you sorry, I was like your question. If your life had chapters, what would this one be called?
Yeah. What about you, Tycho?
This moment of my life for a chapter, what would it be called? It would be called Third Identity.
Interesting. You feel like this is your third identity?
Yeah. It's been a lot of shifts in my life, and I just started really going all in with building this business and building my center and having my own spot in a new city, new part of the country, fiance that I'm about to get married to,
Congrats.
a new house, everything completely new. And none of it feels like it shouldn't be happening. It all feels right, but it's also like the most completely out of my element that I've ever been. So it's like both the most challenging and the most fun. So new identity. Third.
Cool. I would say mine would be called something like the refinement chapter, or like the contentment chapter. I feel like I'm seeking a lot more like stillness and peace in my life, but still like growing, or that being like part of what helps me grow as a person. I feel like most of the time in my life, I feel like I need a new thing, the next thing to grow, and always a lot of change, and I like change. So just kind of like sitting and accepting like slowness and letting that kind of refine me. I feel like that's when I do actually grow most, is when I can learn to be like more quiet and still. So I think I'm getting better at it, and I'm excited about that right now in my life.
You could sit in some darkness.
That would
Tell you all
really
about it.
do it, I'm sure, but that would be so hard. Woo, I couldn't do that. Maybe that means I should do it if I think I can't do it.
It's funny, when I came back a week from having been back, not even, everyone was like, Aaron Rodgers did 3 days. Oh my God, 3 days in darkness. And I was like, I just did 10.
Yeah. Anybody, if you're listening and you've done more than 10, you got to let us know. I doubt it. You haven't done your question, right?
Right.
What does yours say? These are good questions.
If you could
Thanks, Carrie.
instantly master one skill, what would it be? Should I go first?
Sure. If you have one.
Absolutely, I do. Being in ecstasy. Immediately.
Is that a skill?
Totally. When's the last time you were in ecstasy?
I don't know.
But you've been in there, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you know what it feels like? Like the idea of it?
Yeah.
Would you like it?
Yeah.
Imagine being able to have that anytime you wanted it. For me,
it
that's
feels weird to me. It feels like interesting to like be able to make it happen at any point.
I think it would be less special if it was like that.
Yeah. Oh, we're starting to debate.
Not a debate, but, like, that's just my first thought.
So for me, ecstasy is the experience of direct connection with source. And that moment is ecstasy because you feel yourself be completely in your heart and completely available to all joy. So like St. Joseph of Cupertino, it's like 400 years ago, used to get into a state of ecstasy and levitate 20 feet. And there are multiple accounts of it. And this is just showing people like anything's possible. So for me, the ability to do that at any moment would show me, for one thing, where I'm stuck and where I'm not getting that.
Interesting.
And then what I'm doing to not have it.
Yeah. I could see that.
And then when I want it, be like, there it is again.
Yeah, that's a cool answer.
Because if you have it all the time, that's called psychosis. Being in ecstasy all the time is a problem, but being able to have it when you want it, that would be nice.
Cool. Mine's not as cool as that. The first thing I thought of was squatting. That's my hardest lift, and
Respect.
my ankle mobility sucks. And yeah, I would love to just have a perfect squat and it feel really good all the time. But I'm getting better. It's getting there. Collin?
I guess the skill of sitting still.
I could
Really
use
bad
that
about
too.
that. Really bad about that.
Do you feel like you get something out of being still though?
No, I freaking think it's a waste of time.
No, it's not.
I hate it.
That's
I'd rather
not
be doing
true.
something. Yeah, but like I know that's the wrong answer. Just like doing nothing. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I have that tendency as well, so totally get that.
so it's like, but yeah, I know it's needed. It's a character flaw.
Like it is a beneficial skill, but it is kind of a skill.
Oh yeah, to like just pause and be like,
Yeah, like to learn how to do that. Yeah. Well, those are some great questions. I think we should keep doing that, Carrie, but we're going to learn a lot about each other.
real fast.
Like, yeah, we could just do a podcast on those questions probably.
I got it. Name for the basket?
Okay.
Pandora's basket.
Perfect. Pandora's basket. Okay, that's in the top 4 now. We'll let everybody vote on it. I like it. Pandora's basket. Okay, Tycho, you are here to tell us about Inner Core Gainz, right? Inner Core Gainz, is that the name of your business?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I've been a drummer for about 30 years, and about 10 years into it, I realized that I was better drumming when I would train in the gym, and that I was not very happy. So I asked myself, how can I get myself more healthy and be in the gym more? Teach it. So I got an ACSM certification, which is the science-based version, and I started doing that. And for the first year, I was doing 3 hours of sleep a night. I would go to bed after playing till the wee hours of the night and wake up and work 2 training jobs, and it was insane. So after a year of being ironically unhealthy but also still training and doing all the things and still having a good time, I chose the health path, and I still play, but that's where it started. And the whole experience of being a fitness coach has been, like you said, refinement. It's a good word. It's like, how do you get the most optimal body and experience fast without doing unhealthy hacks, of which there are a lot right now.
Yeah.
And we could talk about how bad those are. But I will say that after 11 years of doing this work, I was finding that I had people, just like everybody does, getting plateaus or getting injured.
Hmm.
And I went to the lab and I was like, what is it that's making that happen? And of course you could say like life gets in the way and, you know, people just have other priorities or things just happen. But I really believed and started working with the idea that the mind is workable. And one thing that led me into the work that I do now is that 95 to 97% of our waking life is subconscious. So between the time you wake up and the time you go to bed, most of your experience comes from what you're not conscious about.
Oof.
And if you think about that, you'd be like, well, I guess I know where I'm going to find the most value in my time. But nobody really does that. People even know about it and they're like, well, you know, I'll pray or I'll, you know, learn things, but that's still all conscious.
Mm-hmm.
So how did I get there? I found this work, which is a part of the human potential movement, and is based on the idea, it's been around for about 50 years, that people are, to get into their most sense of creativity and fulfillment and happiness, they need to work on the thing that's inside so that it becomes their life. So after 11 years, I learned and then started incorporating this work to be like a mind muscle and body muscle experience.
Okay.
So Inner Core Gainz is the combination of working the mind and working the body equally. And as you now know with that scientific truth, the mind is the foundation, but it's still based in 6 weeks of nutrition and fitness.
Okay.
So I'm a precision nutrition certified trainer. I do ACSM. I'm basically a combination of Paul Chek holistic work. Pavel Tsatsouline, who is a master student of Charles Poliquin with barbells and dumbbells. His place is called Kilo. And then Pavel Tsatsouline, who does kettlebell work, and Strong First Curia is his thing. So that's basically the amalgam. I also have other certifications, but like if you think about, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then the precision nutrition certification, so it's nutrition too. But unlike most training work, my offering is an hour and a half. So the first half an hour is getting people to resolve their internal mental blocks so that the work that we do that's 6 weeks long can actually stick. And I've used the words like permanent fitness results in half the time, but people have a tough time with the word permanent, especially in fitness, and half the time can't really promise it. But in general, that's what I've found. It takes about half the time. If you really do the work and you really allow yourself to find out what's blocking you, we'll get there.
Yeah. I could see how you said an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I could see how an hour and a half session could be so beneficial, like for the beginning part of like warming up, not just the body, but also the mind, getting it ready for the mind muscle connection. How have you seen that importance of getting the mental blocks gone, making mind muscle connections? How have you seen that change in your own experience with working out?
My own experience? Like, or do you mean with my clients?
With you.
With me?
Yourself. Was
Totally.
it like something that happened with you first and you were like, this is so beneficial, my clients need this too?
Well, interesting question. I started implementing it because I had seen it being the problem for my clients.
Okay.
But I had also done the work on myself, and it had actually been like 6 years, and I was taking this class. I was getting the certification in this work. And I realized there was a moment when I was like, this is the missing link because of what I was experiencing. And then I implemented it and it became tangible results. So like one of my favorite results was a 45-year-old woman that I had been working with for 10 years, and she was hitting plateaus. And
What were her goals?
Her goals were to get lower fat and decrease her weight.
Okay.
And to feel happy. Like
Okay.
not to overcompensate and just get the goal and move on with her life, but to actually have consistency.
Okay.
And that's the point of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I implemented this, and with her in 6 weeks, which is a normal program, she lost 8.6 pounds and 7.9% body fat. And if you know numbers, that's pretty good, especially having plateaued.
Right.
And she still, to this day, like I've moved away from where I was training her, which was in the West Coast, and she's still doing her work and still seeing numbers go down. And for her, that was hard to do before. So it's actually on my website. It's pretty cool. Like when she experienced it, she was like, this is something else. So that was cool. And then the most insane number that I've seen was in 3 weeks. I'd worked with a guy for 2 years, and in 3 weeks, I had a guy increase his trap bar deadlift 75 pounds and decrease his body fat 8% in 3 weeks.
Well, I can totally see. I feel like with the weight, the trap bar deadlift, 3 weeks is a short amount of time, but a lot of people don't know how to lift heavy. So I can totally see like with the mind's like work as well, and the mental blocks, and like learning the muscle connection and learning like how to engage with a lift. I can totally see how that number would increase in such a quick time, because he was probably stronger than he knew he was on week 1.
He's actually a Viking. Like, genetically.
Yeah.
Which is funny for me, but like, yeah, he was actually one of my best clients, but we'd kind of been hitting the plateau. And when I implemented this, it was like, okay, something big has changed. And that was what I saw. And you have to look at numbers, because like if you're not assessing, you're guessing. And so when I assessed those numbers, we both were like, whoa. And that was when I was like, this is it. So that's why it took me 11 years to get there and start implementing it. And then after 13 years, I moved to Nashville because my fiance and I had visited, and we, for many reasons, decided this was the spot to be. And I built my spot, and it was done on October 3rd, and we did the ribbon cutting on October 18th. It's in Bellevue. So it's only like 19 minutes from here.
Yeah.
So what did you do on the mental side within that? Unlocked it. Like, what's that? You kind of paint that picture for people listening.
Totally. So the best way I can describe it is an easy other social proof was a guy who was 25 years old at the time. This was more recent. And we talked about the idea of, if you could have anything in your life, what would you do? So I'm giving this to you right now, like in the conscious description, so you get it consciously. Remember that I do this work. There are specific questions that I ask that get you into your subconscious. That's what I'm working on. That's where the trick is. And there's actually I-access work. So I can't get there unless I do the work with you right now. But I'm going to tell you this consciously so it makes sense. So he's 25 years old. He told me, I want to be able to travel the world as much as I can. Okay, so what does that mean practically? Practically, I want to travel the world as much as I can. He works insurance, and he wants to therefore have enough people to work for him that he can leave basically whenever he wants, have enough money that he can do that. He's married. He wants to have kids. So it's about having the money, having the structure of the people in place so that he can go when he wants, and then having a body that can move the way that he wants. So when you look at that, what does a body moving the way that he wants look like? There are 3 versions of training. There's basically fat loss, muscle mass increase, and strength training. So of those 3, it's strength training. A little bit of conditioning, but mainly with increasing strength. So we had then strength training as the basis for his work to be able to travel as much as he wanted.
Hmm.
So the connection there is that he's noticing that every time he works out is so that he can travel as much as he wants.
So it's like deep motivation for like knowing what you're doing this for. Like you're doing this for yourself for these reasons.
Totally. And the reason that I work on the back end and the subconscious stuff is because everybody has a main goal, but we've grown up and we find reasons and beliefs why we can't get what we want, why we can't travel as much as we want. Oh, that's not practical. Or, oh, that doesn't serve this other purpose that I think I should do, right? There are a lot of beliefs. So like that's dogma true. Is an obvious belief, right? Just think of that, like dogma gets in the way of things. So the point is, when, for me, I find the thing that gets him in the way of being able to travel as much as he wants, because there's always something actively there, and it shows up in the eyes and the way that you talk too. I would pinpoint it. We would find the thing that actually he wanted in that moment, and then we would readjust that. So I can give like a quick example right now so that you kind of feel it. It's like, what's something you don't have, Collin?
Enough time.
Enough time. So what stops you from having enough time?
The current job.
Perfect. So right there, your eyes just went a little bit up to this place right here. So right here is something in your experience that you access that says, I have these things I have to do to stop me from having enough time. And that's something that came from something. So it could have been, actually it happens specifically from the time you are 2 months from being born in the womb to 3 years old. These are when these experiences are planted in your brain and your subconscious. And the reason they're planted there is because of your reptilian brain is keeping you safe from predators. But it can make it hard for you to live your life the way you want to live it, as you can imagine. So like an example of that would be like when you're 1 year old, you wanted a hug from your dad, but he wanted to get coffee. And just when you wanted to get a hug, he left. And you were like, my dad doesn't love me. But it was just because he was getting coffee. It had nothing to do with love. But you chose in that 1 year moment to be like, that's the answer. That's what it is. I have to find my father's love. And, you know, we all have daddy and mommy issues, right? So it's always that thing. And why does that happen? Because in those moments, we decide something and then we just get tossed about until the moment we know we can change that experience. So what happens is in these sessions is I'm finding the moment when you decided that you don't have enough time because of these things, and we readjust that so that you can actually see that time is always available. Remember that when I say that, I'm not going to make you levitate. Right. This isn't like some kind of magic, dark magic, weird, like you have to believe in something, you know, like there's nothing you have to believe to know that you can have what you want. By having what you want, you can't just say to me, I want $10,000 right now in my hand, because that is not something you can actually do unless you're elevated grandmaster, in which case you can, but you wouldn't want to because that doesn't help anybody. Am I getting too deep? Is this making sense?
This is what you're about. I feel like it does make sense. I think that a lot of people do not reach their potential in fitness and whatever it is and what they really want because of their experiences in their life, their childhood wounds and traumas that do affect, everything when we were young affects, a lot of things when we were young affect us how we are now and how we act and what we believe about our capabilities and stuff. So I think that's super powerful. It seems like what you're doing with your clients, just getting them to a place where they can truly commit and find purpose in why they're doing what they're doing. Because I feel like that would naturally bring about much more long-lasting change than just showing up and getting a workout done and leaving.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the key. That's the word, is purpose.
Yeah.
It's all about purpose. Like nothing, if you think about it, nothing really lands for anybody unless they're living their purpose somehow.
Yeah.
Right? If you just say, I want to make trillions of dollars, but you have no real reason for it, you're either going to get it and lose it, or you're going to hate the whole ride and be like, why did I even do this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So like the point of it is you want to find out like what is really feeding me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes, I mean, this can get really deep, and it's hard sometimes to talk about consciously because the subconscious has like different wording. But sometimes having a job that is separate and just transactional from our life is helpful because we can say, that's getting me money, and I want to separate myself from the money and do my other life here. But a lot of us, and I think more and more so nowadays, want to live our purpose, right? We want to do what we do as the purpose. So like, that's how I feel now because of the work that I've done, including the Darkness Retreat and these things that clean me out and be like, what am I doing next? So now I am doing this work in my gym, and then I also speak purpose work as keynote speaking to financial corporations. But that's a whole other thing. So for me, the whole thing about my life is being in my purpose and helping other people live their purpose.
Yeah.
And this is through fitness.
Yeah, that's good. We're going to take a little break and then hear more about all of it. Hey guys, welcome back to the NFM Podcast. We are here with Tycho Bergquist. I'm proud of myself for getting that name.
Nice.
I've got it down now. Like, it's easy. It really wasn't hard in the beginning. It's exactly like it's spelled. But anyways, we are learning so much about what you're doing. I honestly haven't met anybody who's doing what you are doing. If you've been listening to the first half, then you know. You mentioned that your clients have an hour and a half sessions because a lot has to happen in that hour and a half. You're not just working out. You are getting to the root of deep stuff, their purpose, their mental blocks before they go into a workout session, what they really want out of life, not just this session, how this session transfers to what they really want in life. That's a lot. Do you find that it's hard to get people, when you have a potential client, a prospect, and you give your spiel and you try to help them understand like what it is you're about and how you could help them? Do you find that people are like that sounds like a lot of work? Do you get pushback for that? Or do you find that people are like, ooh, I need that? Like, what's the majority, do you think?
I mean, the answer is in your question. Of course I get pushback. And those people who have too much pushback won't work with me. So it's like...
You think those are the ones who really need it?
Well, now you're getting real deep. I think nobody can have what they're not willing to change for.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. True.
So if somebody pushes back too much, even if I quote unquote know they need it, they actually don't need it.
Because they won't work for the change.
And that's pretty deep. Like this gets really, you can probably tell this work gets pretty like nuanced.
Yeah.
Like, would I say that everybody could use this work? Sure. Right? But if we don't get along, there's a reason we're not going to work.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what I'm doing, we're not going to work together. Right? Just like any coach.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is, there is a polarizing experience of what I do. And one of my favorite quotes, I have a bunch of like quotes on my wall of people who do awesome things. Katie Ledecky is one of them. And the quote she has on my wall is, you have to want it more than anybody else. So those are the people that work with me.
Okay.
People who really want it.
Yeah.
And especially the people who have worked in business, but it hasn't been good for their health. And they really now need the health. Hopefully not in crisis, but that happens, right? But they really want it. So like my main tagline is successful in your business, but just can't land the fitness. Fast fitness that lasts.
Okay. That's good.
So those are like, private equity CEOs, tech innovators, even pro musicians, but like people who are really into their work and they're like, I also need the health, but I need it quick. That's why I say like half the time.
Yeah.
So if I didn't get pushback, I would be doing something wrong. But there's also like too much pushback and it's too particular. So yes, I definitely find that I get pushback, and too much pushback, we're not going to work together. If people are really interested, but they're like, I don't know how it's going to work, that's a good in. Because it's like, I'm going to show you how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Right? And the point is, I don't do this just because I feel like it might be helpful. I do it because it's worked.
Yeah.
So the real question is, do you really want something? And are you willing to change? Now, what's interesting is that people usually think, oh, that means I'm going to have to do a lot of change. Most of the change happens when we're doing work together. Of course, if you don't do the workouts I give you, like 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week, including with me also on your own, right? We don't have to work out 5 times together. I'm just saying like maybe once a week, two times a week, total 5, 4, maybe 3. If you're not willing to do that, then it's not going to work. But other than that, and like some, general specific fitness stuff, that's it. The big movement happens when we're talking and happens when we're sitting in session for the half hour before we start.
Yeah.
So like when people are like, this sounds like a lot of work, the real work is just being willing to change.
Yeah. Yeah. And that does take time for sure.
Sometimes it takes time just to want to change.
Yeah.
The essence of the subconscious and like the reptilian brain is that it doesn't want you to change. It would rather you sit on the couch with popcorn and candy canes during Christmas than
So
get
specific.
out and push yourself for the last month of your year.
Yeah.
Right? That is, it's hard. It's not hard because it's actually hard to get up and walk. It's hard because your ego is like, I want you safe. And that's interesting for people. People forget that it's hard to change because your reptilian brain doesn't want it. So it's actually trying to save you, but it's making you live a suboptimal, almost dead life.
Yeah. Oh. Do you have any clients who come to you specifically for things like you talking about in there during the break, like energy, and do they seek you out for this kind of stuff?
For just energy work?
Sure. For example.
No. This work that I do, Inner Core Gainz, is fitness based.
And they come to you thinking that's
for fitness.
Yeah.
If somebody's like, I want to do energy work with you, I'm like, that's cool. We can talk, but we're not going to work in this sense,
Yeah.
I also do other coaching, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Okay.
Right. And some of that is kind of like part of it.
Yeah.
But the point is, the essence here is that it's fitness. I'm not going to get somebody to become a shaman in my work.
Yeah.
I'm going to get somebody to have, 6% body fat because they worked on their subconscious clearing. They implemented the 6-week program and they stay consistent.
You know what it needs to be able to get those results.
Yeah. And the thing is, the reason it works is because it's tangible, right? Like spiritual bypass is a real thing, right? Like being like, I want to just get energetically better. Can you imagine anybody saying that and actually getting that?
Yeah.
No.
Really? You can?
No.
Yeah, exactly. No. So it's because they don't have something to latch onto.
Yeah.
Right. And the latch onto, the catalyst is fitness. I want this from fitness. And then we find out why. And then your why makes it strong enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like fitness is such a catalyst, like to so much more in your life.
So what brought you to Nashville? You said that earlier.
Totally.
Like, this is the right spot. But like, what was it?
All right.
What was it?
All right. I'll tell you. So literally what brought us to Nashville was we came to Bonnaroo in 2023. And as you can tell, I also play music. So that was a big thing for me. I love music. but we are not in any way expecting to like this city as much as we do. But I have 2 family members that live in Nashville, and they're like, come and visit while you're here. We're like, cool. So we came and visited and checked out, and we were downtown Nashville, 12th South, and we were getting around, and we started looking at things. We realized there's a strong yoga community. There is a really parabolic increase in the desire for people to be more healthy. So like food is getting really organic, which we weren't expecting at all, hot fried chicken, water. There's lots of, filtered water here, which is actually more than anywhere else I've been. Like we have a filter on our whole house because it's available. And I was like, that's a priority. Actually, you're, most 65, 75% water. But anyway, and then also the people. We love Nashville people. It's just, there's something about the heart here. And my fiance and I are very, you can probably tell, like energetic, heart-centered as much as we can be, like that's the point. And there's a lot of heart. And we love that about Nashville. So the people, and then of course the music helps. And like right now I'm not doing it, but I still play drums, and I want to, for a hobby, like playing a band and like have some fun, but like that's not why I'm here, although it'll happen. But basically it was because of the parabolic arc of health. So just one more quick thing. When we decided that, we're like, let's do it. And we decided we want to be in a certain distance from the city and all that stuff. But also I've tried to get in with the healthcare, which is,
it's big. Nashville's big healthcare.
Healthcare, exactly. It's the biggest healthcare city in the country, but it's really sick here. So I'm trying, part of that too, is that I'm trying to bring healthcare to healthcare. And so there's a little bit of like ruffling feathers, because like healthcare pays because of like, these pharmaceuticals that they sell. And now there's things like Ozempic and, these shots you can take and all this stuff. So those are like hacks. And I'm like, I have a hack too, but it's totally healthy. There's zero belief system you have to be a part of it. And it works and it lasts.
That's needed.
Yeah.
That's similar. We have kind of had this conversation in a recent podcast, but getting to like a lot of the root cause, and the mental is such a roadblock, like you use that word, a mental block,
Totally.
To being healthy and being well. I found in my own clients, like that a lot of people just need much more time doing the front work before you can recommend to them like what they, especially nutrition, like what they need to get or should try to get. Like before I can tell somebody to get 10,000 steps in a day, we're gonna have to like figure out a lot about their life and their motivation, because like you said, the hard part's not getting up and walking. If there's something else in the subconscious that makes it hard, so
it's a survival mechanism. That's what's keeping you stuck. It
Tell
kept us safe. So the reptilian brain, between 2 months before you're born and 3 years, it finds a thing to basically latch onto to keep you safe. So
similar to what you were talking about with Collin's example.
Exactly. So what happens is you see the same pattern showing up in your life in different ways. And people talk about like addictions, right? Drug addictions. And people say that the reason drug addictions are hard to overcome is because of the drug itself. It changes your brain. And while that's superficially true, the essence of all that is that the reason that addiction is hard to overcome is actually because it didn't kill you. So a person's not getting what they need in life, so they fall into drugs, and the drug becomes an addiction, and then they keep doing it because it didn't kill them, not because they love it so much, although sure, there's some addictive qualities to these drugs. But the problem is actually that the drug is allowing the person not to die, and that's better than trying something else where they might die. And their reptilian brain is saying, don't try something else, stay half alive and just keep doing this drug. So that's true for all kinds of stuff, right? Like the addiction of like withdrawal, isolation, how rampant that is, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather isolate than get vulnerable with people and almost die.
Yeah.
You know how funny that sounds? But like, if you think about it, that's really what's happening is like, people are like, if I get vulnerable with people, like right now I'm vulnerable with you guys, like I might die. Right. But if I were addicted to withdrawal, I wouldn't be here.
Fear there.
Yeah. It's the fear of, it's a fear of annihilation.
Yeah.
It's a fear of being killed, literally. So that's why people don't make changes, is because they're afraid of being killed.
Yeah.
By themselves, really.
Have you written any books?
I'm on my way. So
okay.
I'm 16 pages in, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah. So right now the book is called Happiness Alchemy, because the essence of all this is about happiness, right? But like you said, you don't want to just, like when I was talking about ecstasy, you don't want to just be happy. You want to know how to come back to happiness. You want to be like organic about it, right? So when I talk about happiness alchemy, it's like I'll tell about, I've already written the part about my darkness retreat, and I went to the jungle for 6 weeks and worked with ayahuasca, and I've done all kinds of stuff. I've been in churches too. Like I work in the Christian world. It's all very like, it's all the same thing. The joke I have with people is like, I studied religion in college. That's true. That was my major. And I believe all religions start out well, except for Scientology. But anyway, the point is that all this stuff is true, and we find ourselves in a need to become more aligned with what we really want. And there's been research about how the energetic vibration of authenticity is actually higher than love. Have you heard about this? This is kind of a new thing in the past 5 years. Anyway, and the reason that I believe that's true, know it's true, is that authenticity isn't outward love, it's inward love.
Yeah.
When you're authentic, living your purpose, you're being totally yourself, right? You can't fake purpose. You can be like, I'm meant to be a musician because you like smoking weed and playing drums a little bit, right? But if you really like it, you'll go into it and work hard, and so that's the thing here, is like you're getting into authenticity, which is the highest vibration. And
I can definitely see that.
You can see that.
That's good.
And it's cool because like that's what I noticed is like what we're doing really is increasing energy and vibration. And Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secret to the universe, think in terms of energy and vibration. And that's what I believe that this work is all about. And in general, fitness coaching anyway, right? Like you're increasing your hormonal balance. That's an energetic up leveling.
Yeah.
In the same way. But for me, because I'm landing it in purpose, it's like high gear.
Yeah. This sounds like something that a lot of people would be really interested in. How can people find you?
So I am on my website, www.icgainz.com. I'm on Instagram.
I like it, IC Gainz.
Also with a Z. I am on LinkedIn, just my name, Tycho Bergquist. I am on YouTube, also Inner Core Gainz. And I'm on Facebook, also Inner Core Gainz.
What's some of the stuff you put on YouTube?
Good, specific training things and ideas.
Like tips?
So tips for training and then tips for mind stuff. Okay. So I kind of do a little bit of both, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Right? So like I'll do things like, don't forget to have a goal. And I'll give like a minute on why that's so important.
Okay.
Or like how discipline is important and how it can be achieved.
Yeah.
And
a lot of coaching, not just tips, like real coaching.
Totally. Yeah. And like the idea of like how those things are important, not just because somebody said it, but like to help people think about how important it really is. Right. Like one thing that happens with a lot of coaches, especially when we're just getting started, is we kind of get like a big ego and we're like, do it because I learned this and it's a good idea. Right. I want people who are listening and watching and all that to remember that nothing really matters if you're not doing it because you want to do it. And of course, like, don't forget that the greater goal sometimes means doing something you don't want to do. So like I run once or twice a week for 8.5 miles. I don't like running, but I want to have a high quality of life. So I work out in the gym, and I want to have a long life. So I run, right? Those are my bigger goals. So running is a part of it, even though I don't like running.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't do it, all these things, just add it in. Don't necessarily David Goggins your life, but that might help sometimes. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. So like David Goggins is like
carry the boat.
He's basically like the guy I would say who's, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's basically been enlightened by doing what he doesn't like. So he increases his neocortex.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
But I wouldn't say that's for everybody, but it can help to start things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are before we end, who are some of your people, David Goggins, that you follow that inspire you?
Andrew Huberman's a good one.
Yeah, love him.
Paul Chek's a good one. I actually really like Abraham Hicks, but that's more of the esoteric, spiritual, energetic stuff.
Yeah.
I like, on that regard, Bashar too. These are fun things. In the Buddhist world, I like Thich Nhat Hanh. And then one of my main inspirations actually is Daniel Day-Lewis. He's a method actor. You know what I'm talking about?
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I like him.
That soundtrack.
Yeah, what?
That soundtrack. My mom played that when I was being born. That soundtrack.
Killer, right? Yeah. No wonder.
So funny.
So that's an example of a guy who does something for his purpose. He has literally almost died by doing method in his acting work. So he retired. And he just came back to do a movie only because his son directed it. So like he's the kind of guy who like just does all the way.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that inspires me, is like just go all the way.
Yeah.
All the way. And I can't say that I'm at a place yet where I'm like living every single moment just doing my purpose, but that's
normal.
Exactly. That's normal. But my goal is to get there, right?
Yeah.
In every moment, be like living that whole spectrum of like, okay, now I have to eat. Okay, now I have to sleep. Okay, now I have to do this learning, not right? Because that's the way that you can live totally in your purpose. That's what I want for me. That's what I want for everybody too.
Yeah.
I was going to say one more guy. I think you'd appreciate this about the energy thing. So this is just a cool little social proof that shows people how it's not just about like working out and doing the thing. It's about like living your life. So I had a 40-year-old private equity CEO that I was training that wanted to, he had 2 kids while he was working with me, had a 3rd kid, and he wanted to increase his energy while decreasing his weight and fat. And so in 2 years with me, he had the kid. He actually got married to, he bought a 2nd house, increased his financial capacity insanely, lost 41 pounds, 16% body fat. And the main thing he said was he increased his energy to work out and work with his kids, to be with his kids. So now he's like a better father. And like, if you look on my website, you'll see the guy, looks big and then he looks really small. And if you'd seen that happen in, a month, you'd be like, that's intense. It happened over 2 years. But the point is, this is also about energetic work. And the thing is, we did it so that he could do it and have it be long lasting instead of just be like quick in and out. And now he's like one of my biggest testimonials, and, a good guy, and he's still doing well. And that's what I'm talking about.
That's a great testimony, because it really is like, I think someone touched on this, and I said earlier, like working out and fitness is such a catalyst for life, because it's a lot of work initially. Like it takes work to show up to an 1.5-hour session and like put in the work, because it's kind of like therapy. Like you have to like be committed to that. That takes a lot of work initially, but if you can get that started, so much else in your life can start falling into place. You get energy for your kids, you get energy for your job, and you increase your income, like this guy that you're talking about. So many things I feel like just start snowballing into effect when you can take control of your life in a way like fitness can do for you. So if you guys are interested in this with Tycho, such a cool thing. I don't think we've had any guests on that are like you. Thank you so much for sharing. If you are interested, you can find him on the website, icgainz.com, right? And then the Instagram's the same, with a Z.
Yep, with a Z, Inner Core Gainz.
YouTube, TikTok?
Facebook. LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And just so you know, the book's coming.
Soon.
Yeah. Just so you know, I am only in-person work with this.
Okay.
Only in my spot in the Bellevue section of Nashville.
Okay.
So like, I don't do online training, and that's intentional too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, part of my experience is like, let's keep people together. Like, Zoom has kind of done some things I don't like, although it's helpful, but in many ways it's kind of like decreased our social capacity. So in person, 1.5 hours. And I will say, if somebody's not sure, but they want to check it out, they can try 3 sessions. And I do like a summary 3-session thing. And they get charged for just one 60-minute experience.
Okay.
And it's 3 60-minute experience.
Okay.
If they're seeing
so you
this,
get 3 for 1.
3 for 1, but they're only 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're seeing this right now and you want to work with me and you're like, I'm all in, I'll give 20% off right now because of this experience.
If you mention the NFM podcast.
Exactly.
Amazing. I love it. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thank you to Tycho for coming. The last time I said it. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. Thanks, Collin, for being here. If you guys found this episode helpful at all, on behalf of NFM and Spread the Positive, we really appreciate you listening and tuning in. Stay connected, stay positive, stay strong, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.